And now, marine weather around Alaska.
Looking at northwest winds on Tuesday, 10 to 20 knots here for the south coast, with seas running 4 to 6 feet. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots for the north coast, with seas up there 3 to 4 feet. Lynn Canal, Glacier Bay, Stevens Passage, north at 20 knots, 4-foot seas, and northwest at 15 for Clarence Strait. And for Wednesday, on the south coast, north winds 10 to 15 knots, seas anywhere from 5 to 6 feet, and northeast winds or east-northeast winds 10 to 15 knots for the north coast. North winds 20 knots continue for Lynn Canal and Stevens Passage, northwest at 15 for Clarence Strait. And for Prince William Sound tomorrow, west winds 15 knots, seas at about 3 feet. And for the eastern North Gulf Coast, looking at 15-knot winds from the west and north, and west at 20 for the western North Gulf Coast. And for southern Cook Inlet, Kamishak Bay, and the Barren Islands, all three of those areas looking at west winds at 30 knots with 7 to 9-foot seas. Northern Cook Inlet, south at 15. And for the inlet on Wednesday, southwest winds 15 knots, seas 3 feet. West winds 20 knots, Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay. Variable winds 10 knots for the eastern North Gulf Coast, west at about 15 here south of Resurrection Bay, and southeast at 10 for Prince William Sound. Kodiak Island, small craft advisories tomorrow, west winds 25 to 30 knots, and west-northwest winds 15 to 20 knots for the Alaska Peninsula. Bristol Bay, west winds 20 knots. And for Wednesday, Kodiak Island, west-southwesterlies at 15. And for the Alaska Peninsula, light variable winds from Sitkinak to Cape Sarachev here on the Pacific side, the Bering Sea side, north to northwest at 15 knots. And for the eastern Aleutians tomorrow, variable winds 10 to 15 knots, southwest 15 for Adak and Atka, and west-southwest there for Amchitka Island become northwest, all at 20 knots there for the western Aleutians on Tuesday. For Wednesday, from Kiska to Shemya, west winds 25 knots, Amchitka Island northwest at 20, Adak and Atka north to northwest at 20 to 25 knots. And for the eastern Aleutians, north winds 10 to 25 knots. Southwest coast, St. Lawrence Island for Tuesday, southwest winds 20 knots, west at about 15 for Norton Sound. Gale warning, St. Matthew Island, southwest winds 35 knots, southwest 25 for the Pribilofs. Excuse me. And for Wednesday, for the Pribilof Islands, northwest winds 15 knots, northwest at 15 here for the southwest coast, southern Nunivak Island, Yukon Delta coast, St. Matthew Island, west at 25, St. Lawrence Island, west winds at 30 knots, gale warnings for Norton Sound, southwest winds there at 35 knots. And for the Chukchi Sea tomorrow, variable winds 10 to 15 knots. Brisk wind advisories here for the Arctic coast, all out of the west at 25 to 30 knots. And for Wednesday, variable winds here for the eastern Arctic coast at 10 to 15 knots. Variable at 10 knots for the remainder of the coastline, the Chukchi Sea, north winds 20 to 25 knots.